welcome back to the Wildcard Podcast. Today we got a special treat for episode 7. We have our first guest in the house, Caleb Tag, and I'm going to be interviewing him today. Can't wait. This is going to be a great episode for you all. With that being said, let's get into it. So first off, Caleb, why don't you just tell the people a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, what you do?
So grew up in Indy. My dad is a pastor down in Plainfield, west side of Indy. But I just grew up there my whole life, and then moved up to the north side around 2021-ish.
Okay.
When I was 22. My dad's church is incredible. My dad is like my favorite pastor ever. He's an incredible preacher. But there weren't a lot of young adults there. And so moved up to the north side, I'm still going to a church called Cornerstone. Great community there. Love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, currently I am working at a coffee shop. I've only been there for 3 weeks now. It's been a lot of fun. I love it. I love customer service. I love talking. I love working with people and just, also the barista side is really fun. But which I think this will probably just be more of conversation topics eventually, but one of my close friends owns it, and he's planning to open another shop in Lord willing, a couple months, but there's just, you never know with this stuff. So working there, and then I will the new shop will open, and plan is for me to manage that shop, but it's all with just like my goal is just like joining his company and kind of just helping him grow it and being a part of it. So, but yeah, I don't know. I know this dude through theater. And well, technically the Owens, but we got to know each other through theater.
Yeah, exactly.
And became quick friends.
Yeah.
Just basically brothers right off the bat.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. It was crazy. Our friendship kind of just like was like non-existent, and then it was like boom.
Yeah.
And it was like,
I mean, when you meet someone who just like matches energy,
no, exactly,
and just goes right
vibe,
back and forth, and you're just like,
no,
okay, this is a guy that I can just like.
Yeah. And I think too, like definitely for us, like we both love to banter, and so like when we kind of first got into a relationship. Whoa, that sounds kind of gay. But like when we first started becoming friends.
That works.
You know, that's a little better. When we first started becoming friends, like just the banter we had was, bro. Okay, by the way, just so y'all are aware, it's just me and Caleb here right now, but Esther and Aaron are sitting over there. Off to the side.
They're right off the side. Yeah, they're.
And they're just dying laughing now.
And I'm sure you guys know this, but just get brothers engaged right here. So
yeah, I'm not gay. I promise.
Not that we don't beat any allegations well. Like it is pretty much any of our friends though.
Hey, we love each other, and we're not ashamed.
That's what I've talked.
And that's a good thing. That's what this brotherhood stuff is about. That's
100%.
like, don't be scared. Don't be scared to tell your brother you love him.
I mean,
like,
holy kiss. Greedy brother, okay, holy kiss, brother. I mean, that's
crazy.
But
we're joking.
Not that you'll know that. But that's like I am blessed to have a lot of great men around me who are just brothers in Christ. Yeah. And I've even we just hang out, stuff happens, and it's like, man, we're weird. Like we are weird.
Yes,
but
bro.
It is like you've just got it. It's good to see, especially I feel like from the older generations where, and you see like the classic, the 80s. I was just watching Sandlot last night. Dude, and great movie, just a classic. Oh, it's so freaking good. But like he's got a stepdad, and his stepdad was like just like shook his hand, and it was like, okay, you're the man of the house, and it's like there is a point of like being a man, and you're not run by your emotions, you're not overly emotional, but the Lord gave us emotions for a reason. Like we're not like, I mean, something my dad always said growing up was don't trust your feelings. Because your heart is deceitful and desperately wicked. Above all things, who can know it? And I think that is a really good thing to at least have like in the back of your mind. But at the same time, which has also just been a part of my journey the past like year and a half ish. of that the Lord still gave us our feelings for a reason.
Yeah, for sure.
And you shouldn't be run by them.
Yeah.
But anyway,
No,
all
for
back
sure.
to the original topic of having men around you and seeing men and that you can just like hug and
facts.
and be like have a physical
Yeah.
contact, have relationship with, that you're not just like, oh, good to see you, sir. It's not, but it's like, no, like I love this man. This
No, for
man's
sure.
amazing. I have 5 or 6 other guys in my life that I love and that are brothers and that I can go to and have and talk about the Lord and be like, hey, I'm struggling with this, or like, hey, how can I pray for you? Can you pray for me about this? Like I can text, and well, sadly a lot of them are really bad texters, but that just kind of, it's unfortunate, but it is still like, yeah, there's seeing men have strong masculinity while still being emotional and affectionate. That's not emotional, but affectionate.
Yeah.
Like being like, you're not, you like, it's special. And it's something in this day and age that goes way too far in a lot of areas, but there's
a certain level.
There is a very certain level and
sure.
a healthy amount of that where you're not also just like bottling everything up and stuffing it down.
Sure.
But
yeah, and that's like, we've talked about that multiple times on this podcast too, of like, even, you know, the importance of like understanding how to process your feelings the right way. And, you know, even like you said, the importance of having good Christian men close to your age in your life.
Although you're like 7 years younger than me.
That is true. That is true.
Almost 8. I'm almost 27.
Bro, I'm 20 now, bro.
When was your birthday?
Respect. 31st.
Brother, I forgot about that. Happy birthday. Wait,
you actually, I thought you
did. I not text you?
I thought you texted me.
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Anyways,
that
real
was so
brothers
long
love
ago.
each other and don't care about their birthdays.
Exactly.
That's facts.
No, who
needs a birthday when you just love each other every day?
Yeah.
No, anyways, that is the most guy thing ever. That,
Bro,
like,
genuinely, dude, I'm so bad with birthdays.
Dude, me too, bro.
My dad,
bro.
What's the date today? Actually, what is the date?
February 7th.
Okay, my dad's birthday is tomorrow. But like, I'm so like my mom's birthday is, I think, November 8th.
Yeah.
My sister's birthday is December 3rd and November 3rd. But like people I'm like, dude, that's a good question. I don't know. Like dude.
Yeah.
I mean, there's, you asked me what a diamond and nickel is. I couldn't tell you. I know that the small one is worth 10 cents and the big one's worth 5 cents, but like my brain, unless I have like constant reinforcement, is just one thing and out the other. But as the great Tolkien said, one thing pushes out another, and stuff gets pushed out very quickly in my brain. Like legit, like literally, I'm giving people change back. Like, I mean, so many times in the past like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And just in a lot of people, I'm like, I tell this to people because I think it's hilarious, but it's also 100% true. Like, I'm like, I think I would say with confidence that a dime is worth 5 cents. Is that
a dime's worth 10 cents.
Okay. but literally and like people will say it and it's like, oh, the one with 4 letters, dime is worth 5 cents, so it's small or whatever. So like that, I can try to get stuff to remember, but then I forget about it. And like in the moment, like I was giving someone change the other day, and we had way too many dimes. Yeah, because they're worth 5 cents, and
they're worth 10. But keep going. Guys, anyways, moral of the story is
this is. They apparently said we got 39 minutes, and I was like, I was expecting 2 hours, so we'll keep on talking. But
no, it's good.
One thing pushed out. That's for no.
Your brain doesn't operate like
birthdays. We got a lot of rabbit trails we're going down. Back to
we gotta get back on topic.
Yeah,
here.
there was
because we'll talk about random stuff all day.
With emotions, I'll say this. Similar to not trusting your feelings, you don't let your feelings dictate what you read in the Bible. You let your Bible dictate what you're feeling. Yeah. So you're reading the word and you're like, oh man, I'm feeling this way. I'm not sure. Then you look at the Bible and you say, oh, you know, it says everywhere, especially in the Psalms, of trusting the Lord. This morning, I read Psalm 45, 46. But it was like when the earth moves, when the earth shakes, when the mountains crumble, trust in God. And it says, be still. And it's like when the earth is crumbling, as Christians, we can still know that God is there. He's present. It says in the Psalm that he was present.
Yeah.
And he's always there. He always listens. He loves us. He is our Father. And so, when life is going to crap, we can know that our God is there and we can trust in him.
No, for sure.
And so, but there's one thing, but like just in general, no matter what's going on in the world, no matter what's going on in family and friends or whatever, it's not, I'm feeling this way. And even though the Bible says this, I'm going to kind of head towards that way. And so many issues, it's like, I mean, there's certain issues, but like, it's why do we not do this? And it's like, well, it doesn't make sense. Like if this person wants to do this, I mean, I'll just, a very obviously still, people still speak about, and there are still Christians who say this isn't a sin, but homosexuality.
Yeah.
Like it's, why is it wrong if a man, like what if a man loves another man and they want to have a good quote unquote Christian relationship where they don't have sex before marriage, they do it, the right way and wait until marriage, they get married, and then they do, like, what's wrong with that? Like, they're just loving each other. And what's wrong with that is the Bible says it's wrong. Like, that's what's wrong with it. Like, in our human brains, it doesn't make sense, but that's because we're dumb and we're stupid and we can't, and that is where our heart is deceitful. And so it's like, then we base what we believe and what we push on the Bible, and that's what the Bible says. Yeah. So it's, that's what a lot of people, and again, not everything's black and white, so it's difficult. There are gray areas that we're not sure. But then one of my old mentors once said, you take the clear verses in the Bible to explain the unclear ones. So if there's a verse and you're like, oh man, I'm not really sure what that says, and you go back to what is clear, and you can use that to help explain it. Sometimes it's still hard, sometimes it's difficult. I'm not a theologian. I'm not a, like, I'm not, there most people who are better than me, but like, you can still at least try and take that and go pretty far.
No, yeah, for sure. That's good. I kind of want to go back to like what you said about trusting in the Lord, because I know, like, knowing your story and kind of how you've kind of gone through life, like, I know that's one thing that's really stood out to me about you and how you've approached life, is just this genuine trust in the Lord, and how you always are seeking what he wants, and how you always, one thing I love about you is how intentional you are when you read the scriptures of like, what is God wanting to tell me? And I think it's been beautiful to see, like, even though I've literally known you for maybe a year and a half, 2 years, if that.
2 years.
Yeah.
A year and a half, coming up on 2 years. Yeah.
Almost 2 years. And I've seen that a lot in those 2 years, but I know from like stories that it's been present throughout your whole journey. And so, just kind of wanted, you to talk a little bit about that, because I know, like, for a lot of, people that we're reaching out to, and just people in general, like, everyone's always questioning what's going on with my life. How do I figure things out? Where does God really want me? And I know sometimes it can be encouraging just to hear from other people. Like, it might take years, and God might keep you in a place you don't want to be for a while, but eventually, his plan is greater, and you might not know. But I was just wondering if you could talk a little bit about, especially, like, after you kind of dropped out of college and then eventually went into the union, if you want to kind of talk about, like, your journey with the union and coming out of it and all of that.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, I went to college. Freshman year was 2018. I dropped out of college in 2020. It was, I make a long story short, because I can talk for too long. I was spending too much money. I went to Cedarville University over in Ohio, small Christian school, great school. Like, I love it. I loved my community there. I was working a job there on campus that I loved. I just didn't like the school part. This was, small part of college. I just, And it like, it's kind of unfortunate, like thinking back on stuff like that. Like part of me almost for a little while, I thought about going back to college just to finish, just to be like, just to prove to myself at the very least that like, I'm not stupid. Like if I were to put effort into this, I could have done it. But my second year, I lost a scholarship because my GPA was too low. It was like 2.7, something like that. But I needed a 3.0. And I was spending like $7,500 extra a year.
Yeah.
And my first year is exercise science. In my second year, I switched to communications because I took anatomy and physiology my second semester, and I got a D. And I was like, I can't survive A&P 2. That's that's not going to happen. Yeah. And so, and this also goes into a lot of like the reason I chose exercise science my freshman year is like growing up, entire life. Never knew what I wanted to do. Like my middle sister, she knew she wanted to be a teacher since she was 6 years old. Yeah. And she's a kindergarten teacher currently still. She's been doing it for like 7 years, something like that. Yeah. My older sister, she loved literature. She loved English. She loved grammar. So she did an English major and then she went into editing. Now she's a mother of 3 with her husband, my brother-in-law, and she still does editing on the sides now. Yeah. And for me, I've always just kind of been, I like jack of all trades. Like I like English. I love to read. I love to write. But I was never like deep into it. I loved history, but was never like deep into it. I enjoy teaching people, but I was never really wanted to do it as a career. I think I could have enjoyed it and it could have been fun, but there was never anything that I like had a passion for. And then in between my junior, senior year, I started to work out. I lost some weight. And I was like, and my middle sister, she's, me and my whole family have a great relationship. I'm incredibly blessed to have a immediate family that loves the Lord and is very close, and we love each other. But then my extended family on both sides are also very close, and they love the Lord, almost everybody. And it's an insane blessing. But talk with my sisters a lot. We have great relationships, and my middle sister at the time, she was like, why don't you go into exercise science? Like that seems to be the only thing that you've had a passion for. And I was like, that's true. Like that is what, like being healthy, being active, taking care of your body, for longevity and mobility purposes just throughout your whole life. That was like, it wasn't that deep when I was young, but anyway, went to that anatomy physiology, A&P kicked me out. Went to communication because I was like, I have no idea what I want to do. Like I don't have a passion besides this, and now I can't do that. And I was spending way too much money for a communications degree that I didn't know why I was getting it. Yeah. People would be like, what are you going to do with that? I'm like, that's a good question. I was like, I can do anything. Like I can literally, I'll communicate real well. And I'll be able to do, and it is true. Like not a lot of people in this world can communicate well. Yeah. So like it is a good skill to have, but also not, anyway. And so dropped out so it was in 2020. So COVID hit, I went back home. I was doing online school, which I hated even more. Yeah. And, because
you lost that friend aspect.
Oh yeah. I lost. Yeah.
You just, all you had was school.
No. Yeah. There's no personality. There's no people that I'm interacting with. So like I said, I can go really long, so I'll try and speed this up.
So how'd you get into the union?
Yeah. I wanted to, I've always said, I want to do something active. I want to do something like if you sit me behind a desk in a office building, I'm going to kill myself. Like I would not survive that in a cubicle or whatever. And so, when I dropped out, I thought I wanted to do maybe like home renovation, home remodeling, flipping houses, something like that. So I moved down to Florida for 4 months, to, work in a small custom home building business. Yeah. Which I love Florida. That was great. But then decided I didn't want to do that as a career. I said, and this is kind of in trusting the Lord, leaving college, moving down to Florida, and then moving back from Florida. Yeah. Was like, I've had my Bible I have right now. I've had it since 2018, maybe 2019. Oh, wow. And so like, I look back as I'm reading through it, and I have written down, and it's a journaling Bible. So I have spaces to write, and like, I date a lot of things, especially if it's like kind of important in life. And so like, I can go back and I see like, hey, this was in 2020. Like I know I was in Florida at this time, and it's just like, I don't like, I remember writing of being like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on, but I just need to trust God. And, you know, it sounds a lot better from the outside and but in the actual, trial or whatever you want to call it, it's like, I have no idea I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. I don't know what's going to happen. I know I don't want to do this. And a lot, like pretty much everybody in my life was telling me, I was like, well, if that's not what you want to do, come home. I lived at home rent free for a while. I worked landscaping for a year until I was trying to figure out what to do. And then, one of my close friends, he was in the operating union. So heavy equipment operating on construction sites. So just working in construction, and he was a journeyman in the union. And it all started out, and like this has been also kind of like a consistent theme through my life, at least with 3 or 4 people. He wants to, still hasn't yet, but he wants to start his own excavating business. He wants to start his own company. And so the whole plan was kind of like, it was like, sweet, like if you want to start that, like you can be the business owner and I can be your second in command. I can be underneath you and I can just do what I can to help build and help grow. Yeah. And just put in the hours and put in the effort and and we did one job together. We made a big retaining wall. It's like 100 feet long and probably 5 feet tall. Like it was out of railroad ties. Yeah. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it. But like the big thing I enjoyed about it was just like, this was my choice. I'm doing this. Like we worked like 10, 11 hours a day, while we were building that. Yeah. And like working into the night. And I was like, this is fun. Like this is like, yes, the work was fun. You're working in equipment, you're building something, but it was also just like, it was my choice. I'm deciding to do this because I want to help grow this. I want to help I have a purpose in this. And then it was for multiple reasons. It was like, okay, we can't start this right now. We don't have money. We have debt. Yeah. And then he was like, I can get you into the union as an apprentice. Yeah. That'll give you on the job training. You'll get paid. The union starts out pay really well. Like right now, I started out at like 28 an hour, but I think right now it's at like 31, 32 an hour start out. Yeah. And, so I was like, sure, why not? Like, I don't know. Yeah. Like this will at least be something I can do in the meantime. Yeah. Going into the decision to join the union was also not an easy one. Like when the time actually came to like say yes or no, construction is, I have so much respect for anybody who works in construction, whether it's whatever, because it's not an easy job. It's especially in the summer, depending on what job you're doing, it's long hours. You're working 10, 12, sometimes 13, 14 hours a day. Yeah. And you know, you're getting paid well for it, but it's still just long, hard work. If you're an operator, you're sitting in a machine, which is also incredibly hard on your body. Like that, your body's not meant to sit down for that long. And it's mentally exhausting because you make one wrong move too quickly, or you're not watching, you can kill somebody in a split second. And I've heard many stories of operators running over people and or just like, it's mentally exhausting. And, at the time I was living close to my church, like 5 minutes away. I was involved probably 3 nights a week in just like, volunteering whenever I could. And I loved it. It was awesome. I was like, this is great. I'm just like at church, I'm meeting people. I'm serving in so many ways. And I knew that if I joined the union, a lot of that would probably have to change. Cause my job I was working at the time, it was a small landscaping company and it was a Christian business owner. And so he gave me, I'm like, hey, I've got youth group, I've got this. And he would let me off when I needed to. It was awesome. And so I knew if I started doing construction, like I would have to stop serving in a lot of ways at church. And this was also the Lord working in a lot of ways. And so in that specific instance, because going into it, I was like, man, I don't want to do it if that means I'm going to have to stop serving at church.
No, for sure.
And I don't get stressed often. Very, very rarely. I'm pretty, like I am someone who can just kind of, you know, be like go with the flow. I can be chill.
Yep.
I can trust the Lord and be like, well, you know, God has it. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just going to be where I'm at and do what I'm doing and trust that he has it.
Yeah.
And during this time, I was like stressed. I was like, my whole family was like, you have to do the union. Like, you have to do this. This is a great opportunity. It is the golden egg. You get good pay, you get benefits. Like, why would you not want to do this?
Yeah.
And I had another friend at the time. He had a small landscaping business, and he was like, I'm looking for a second in command to come on and help me grow this business, free me up, give me the chance to do more.
Yep.
And so I was like, I mean, that's also a good opportunity, but my whole family is very risk adverse.
Yeah.
And so they were like, that's a small business that could fail very easily. Why would you want to do that when you could do this instead? And so I was like getting pulled two different ways. Yeah. And eventually I realized, I was like, I haven't actually sought the Lord about this. I haven't prayed about it. I haven't just been in his word, just like kind of looking. And eventually I remember I was driving, I lived on the north side, still do, but I lived in Westfield. And I was driving to the Monon, and I was like, I'm just going to take a walk. I'm going to pray, read my Bible, and just, and I remember driving there. It's like a 7-minute drive and just like crying because it was just frustration. It was just like, I have no idea what to do. And I have no idea what I'm going to do with my life. Like it's that feeling of just not hopelessness, but just confusion and frustration because at this point I've been aimless for, I mean, if you want to, you know, ever since going to college, all that, but like since leaving college in 2020, it's been 2 years now at that point of just being like, I'm trying stuff, it's not working, let me do the next thing. Okay, going to the next thing. Oh, maybe not. Maybe, and it's just, it just wears you down.
It's the journey.
And I remember driving there and just like crying out of frustration because I'm like, Lord, I just have no idea what to do. And I remember praying and getting to it and being like, I remember having the thought, and also maybe at the time it was just the voice of the Lord, I didn't know it, of saying if it's going to happen, it'll happen. Yeah. And just being like, just having a sense of peace of like, okay, if the Lord wants it, the Lord is sovereign. He is in control. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And at the time I was also thinking about a girl, but also just with jobs and with serving at church. And so I realized, because I would say, like my family's not trusting the Lord enough that if I do this small business thing, that I'm not going to be okay. I realized I wasn't trusting God, that if I do the union, he would still allow me the time to serve at church and be involved in my community. And so I was like, oh, well, there's a double side to that. That sucks. And so then I was like, okay, I'll do the union. I'll be okay. I did all through. It was an apprenticeship. You need 6,000 hours to graduate. I got my journeyman's card in it this past July. It took about 3.5 years. And through that entire 3.5 years was, the Lord showed up in so many ways. Like it was, my first job for the union was like 3 or 4 months long. And I was able to serve at church the entire time. No matter what, during that time, I also backed off on the little things. Like we had a young adult group. And so I stayed doing that. I stopped doing youth group, and I also stopped volunteering in a couple ways. But like being in my community, being in the young adult group and all these things, the Lord still allowed me to do that. Space for that. And then when I worked one job for 2.5 years, and it was 40 hours consistently year round, which is unheard of in the union. Like rain or shine, basically, it was 40 hours. And I had a lot of free time during the day. I could go on walks. Like it was like my friend who's in the union, he was like, you realize how rare your experience, like this is not normal. And I was like, the Lord,
just the favor of the Lord.
Yeah. He literally, like, I remember when I got rid of, when that first job ended, when I got let go from that job, I remember praying to the Lord. I was like, Lord, give me something simple, give me something easy that I can just, that I can do. And still have a life outside of it. And he gave it to me. And it was like, man, it was awesome. And so it allowed me to do theater. It allowed me to meet you. It allowed me to meet so many other people in my life that are so important to me now. And But it also kind of instilled, I mean, every day, getting up and being like, I don't want to do this. Almost every winter while I was working in the union, I would go through a couple weeks, a month of being like, I need to leave and I need to find something else. And I would be searching for something else. And then at the end of every time, I would hit the point of being like, I just need to stay. I need to follow this through. I need to finish this, close the door on this chapter, and then I can do whatever I want. But again, at the end of it, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And so I remember at the time, 2 years ago, year and a half ago, whatever, praying like, Lord, bring me my next thing. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do after this, but show me what I should do. Bring me something, like, give me clarity in this.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm going to stop you here because I know there's so much more to say.
There's a lot more.
So we're actually going to, let's make this a 2-part episode.
Okay.
Because I don't want to make like an hour and a half long episode. And also make Ezra's life harder. Because I'm sure he's stressing over there like, oh, he's just giving me all this footage. Hopefully my SD card has enough storage. Anyways. So we're gonna make this a 2-part.
Okay.
So we'll wrap up here with you kind of figuring out, the Lord wanted you in the union, and you kind of having this desire to maybe go out, but still feeling led to stay in it. And then next week for you guys, for part 2, we'll talk about how you came out of the union and where you're at now, and that whole process. So, but real quick, I'll pray us out of this episode, and then, God, we just thank you for today. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity to have Caleb in the studio and just to be able to talk with him, Lord. Just thank you so much for his story, Lord. I hope that his story speaks to everyone watching this or listening to this, God. And I just pray that you would just help everyone to learn to trust you in every circumstance, Lord, and learn how to understand that sometimes you call us to do hard things for a reason and to help us grow. And we don't understand it in the moment, but there's always understanding and reasons that we find out on the other side of it. And so, God, we just thank you so much for all that you've done. Give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, well, that wraps up part 1 of this interview with Caleb.
My dad's son.
As always, you can always like, subscribe, follow us, and be sure to join us next week for part 2. Thank you all. Peace.